So, Sarah, one of the really good things of what I do is I get to meet loads of interesting people, and I get to meet a lot of people who care about where we live and how our town's affected and our environment's affected. And I also meet people who are prepared to stand up for the community, and that's how we sort of got to know each other, isn't it? And you know, obviously we've supported the campaign against Places for People, who people might know are like one of the biggest housing associations in the UK, and they're, in my view and yours definitely, are treating residents despicably by trying to snatch away their social rights and also up their tenancy, their rent by up to 40%, and that's so. Could you just tell us how that came about and how you got involved?
Yeah, so there's 2 streets affected in Shaw. I live on one of them, and we got a letter out the blue a couple of years back saying that a subsidiary company was going to manage the rents and repairs, but there was no change to terms of tenancy. And then all of a sudden, a few years later, we got another letter through saying that there was going to be a big rent increase for all the residents of 20%, followed by another 20%, and so on, to bring them in line with market rental value in the area, which then rang alarm bells in my head, because I know that we're not a market rental property, we're social tenants. So I then started doing a bit of digging and speaking to people about it on the street, formed a WhatsApp group, and then obviously approached local councillors like yourself and stuff to take it forward, and other organisations with legal.
The thing with this, I mean, it was just pure bullying tactics in my view, and I think, you know, one thing I always say about Shaw and Crompton is the strength in our community, and I think they picked on the wrong people, didn't they?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know, taking on from that, just moving on, the campaign obviously is now at the High Court effectively, so you know, I know we're confident we're going to get a judgment in our favour, which would basically protect people nationally as well as locally.
Yeah, it's highlighted quite a lot of issues as well within the justice system of what is housing. I mean, we all know we've got a critical case of housing need at the minute, and there's no housing. The social housing's, you know, depleting, and nothing's being done to replace it. But we couldn't get any legal representation unless we had £10,000 up front, or we was an actual housing provider. I mean, where's the equality in that? There's just nothing there.
So, demonstrating obviously the strength of community, you've decided to take it a bit further, should we say? And obviously, you've seen what we do as the Shaw Crompton Independents. I mean, we're effectively a community group that supports people like yourself to get elected, and then work on your own initiative with us to basically progress and improve where we live. So you've decided to come on board?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of what you've done in Shaw already. The markets, love the markets, the artisan market at the end of the month. You know, I like the idea of the park, the money that you just had invested into that to make it a better place. I mean, Dunwood Park, for example, where we are now, I come through here every day with my dogs. They love it. You know, the real community spirit in this park. And
community space, isn't it, really?
It's well looked after,
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing, obviously, we're doing with the thing in Crompton, and obviously the thing with the Lifelong Learning Centre, soon to be a town hall. It's about bringing the community together, and there's quite a lot of division.
Power in numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I think there's a lot of people out there who spin division, and they're just appealing to people's fears, and we're beyond that. So I'm really pleased that you're standing with us, and I think it's people like you, the people of Shaw in particular, need to get behind, because, you know, unlike others, we don't like hang on the coattails of political parties.
No, I'm not a sheep. If we want to make any decisions in life, this is how I operate. I will do my research behind it and make an informed decision. I don't believe anyone should be making decisions without having the information provided to them. And that's obviously the problems and the issues that I see within politics, is that, you know, people are sort of scapegoated into, you know, joining on a bandwagon and going with what people are saying, which isn't actually true. And then creating division within
I mean,
society.
we're under no illusions. It's politics is the problem. It's not the solution. And we're not political, but we operate in a political environment, and it's a cesspit. I'll be straight with you. But you've just got to keep your head above that. Keep true to your morals, and just try to get the best for what we can by dealing with who and when the things matter. So
well, people who know me well will know how resilient I am.
Yeah,
and how
I picked up on that.
and how proactive I am.
Yeah.
If I get my teeth stuck into something, I follow it through.
Yeah.
I'm not a quitter. So I'm not going to beg anyone for votes or anything like that. But equally, you know, if you want someone to fight for your corner, there's no one really better to have in that position than me.
And you've made a concerted choice to live here, haven't you? Because I know you've lived here for a number of years, but you also got your father to up sticks, didn't you?
I have, yeah. My dad's in High Crompton.
Right, okay.
Yeah, in a bungalow that he's bought to move to the area. I wanted him to be closer because he's my main source of support, and equally I'm his source of support because he's getting older now. So yeah, and he loves the area. He comes through the park. He's been out with us a few times in Shaw, and he just says how welcoming it is. He lived at Delft before that and used to come and do his shopping in Shaw, and he just said how friendly it was in the area, and that he wanted a close-knit community to live in where he felt part of something.
So we're working on some pledges. We've worked on our pledges for the election campaign. We think they're achievable. Obviously you've had some big input in that, you and Alicia and others. And these are they're not just statements. They're achievable things that we believe we can make things better. So all I'd ask for the people of Shaw is, it's not about voting for me. I'll get my day of judgment next May. But in the meantime, if you want somebody who's capable, if you want somebody who thinks for residents without the confusion and influence of party politics, then I don't think we could have found a better candidate.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on board.